pinned to the mat. I used to smell her perfume, now I smell a rat. Playing cards with the devil, drew a losing hand like it's nothing.
Dude, you can't cut that shit out.
No, I don't want to fucking
No,
say that.
no.
Because too many people hold him.
All right. All right. All right, Peter Key's back with Jimmie Bones with the Insomnia Chronicles. You know, you just said something really cool. You said, we may be old, but at least we got to see all the good bands.
Yeah, man.
You know, what were some of the great bands that you got to see?
Oh, God. I just, well, one of the big things right now, the movie Bohemian Rhapsody,
Right.
I saw Queen in their heyday.
Oh, man.
And Cobo Hall and the shows in the 70s were just, you know, they were spectacles of production and, you know, leading to what's going on today.
Right.
I mean, today is phenomenal with all the video, but this is, you know, the lighting truss was done in the shape of a crown, and lights are going off, but they're jewels in this crown, you know. And all of a sudden, you know, the music's da-da-da, and this lighting truss is rising up, and you see that pretty soon a giant explosion. All of the lights in there just, this pyro goes off, and they're going to tie your mother down. And I'm like, oh my God, man, this is what I want to be. And I said, that was probably about the 8,000th time I've said that since the
Right.
time I was 5 years old and saw the Beatles and the Rolling Stones on Ed Sullivan. Yeah, I'm that old.
Damn. So what? Wow. What was your first band? How old were you when you started like performing out?
Okay, you know what? I played piano, I played keyboards. It was something that was brought into the home more from my mom and my sister.
Right, the piano.
But you know, I kind of had with my grandfather, he was a farmer, but he played harmonica, so he got me into playing harmonica and, you know, turned me on to all of this great music when I was young. And, you know, obviously he was very into Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson and Hank Williams Sr., but also Ray Charles and some great blues stuff. So he was a huge fan of a lot of different music, and he turned me on to a lot of that. But I was in school one day, and I was one of those guys playing the harmonica, you know, walking around the halls.
One of the ne'er-do-wells.
Yeah, right, yeah, the ne'er-do-wells, just, you know, leaping, noble, fair, long-haired leaping gnomes, you know, and I'd be, you know, playing some Little Walter or something on the harmonica, trying to play Little Walter, and this guy says, "Hey, man, you want to be in a band?" And I'm like, I guess, you know. And he says, "Well, we're going to pick you up tonight. We need a singer. Can you sing?" And I said, "Yeah, I can sing. I think I can do that.
I think I can sing.
I think I can do that." You know. So we go, and the first song that they lit into was "Going Down," the Freddie King, you know, song, and you know, we knew it also as the Jeff Beck version back then, and I started singing it and blowing some harp, and they're like, after the first, I see them all looking around. I'm like, I guess I'm not doing so good. They're like, "You're in our band, man. You're our singer." And they're like, "You know any mountain?" And we launched into Never in My Life, and that was like the second thing. So I was probably a junior in high school or a sophomore or something. And the next thing we were playing the VFW hall on Friday nights in Roseville. You know,
And you were already playing piano at this point, yeah?
I was playing piano, but I didn't have anything to lug around, so I was the front man and playing harmonica. And then later on, you know, I bought my parents' Hammond and started lugging that around. You know, turned it upside down, you know, drew some holes, some big, you know, lag stove bolts into the bottom so the thing wouldn't come out, and then, you know.
The rest is
rolling
history.
that thing around, you know, spray bombed it black, because black is the rock and
You still
roll
have that?
color. No, I sold that a long time ago, but I've had a succession of B3s and C3s ever since. This was actually a Hammond M100.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, which
Manageable.
and it has been used on a lot of recordings, and probably one of the most famous ones is "Thank You" that John Paul Jones played
Right.
all the organ on. Led
That's
Zeppelin
funny.
record. That's an old L100 or an M100.
My first Hammond was an M100 that I bought from my high school guidance counselor. I got that in an old Wurlitzer, and he got them from Sly Stone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I remember lugging that thing around. And that first band that I was in, we did Give Me Three Steps, and I didn't know any better, so I played it on the Hammond. I didn't have a piano.
Just play it on the organ. You do what you do.
Yeah,
man.
I played it on the organ.
At that point, then it's garage rock.
Dude.
It's garage
The
rock.
funny thing is, when I was 14, if you'd have told me that, fast forward 30 years, I'd be playing it with the guys, I'd
Yeah.
have told you were crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, then we would do all of these, garage parties, and we're like 15, 16 years old, Friday night, Saturday night, and just set up in the garage. And
Yeah.
before you know it, the whole backyard's filled with kids. And then before you know it, the cops are there. And, they're listening a little bit, and they were kind of being cool.
Right.
Not really breaking things up. And it's, all right, hey, we're getting a few complaints. Can you guys keep it
10
down?
o'clock, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 10 o'clock you're done. And then you get past, and then they'd be like, okay, everybody out. But no, they were cool. They were feeling it,
That's amazing. I mean, this is why I love Jimmie. He's a lifer like me. I mean, this is all I know.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like I don't even know how to do a career change. We were talking about the occupational hazards of being a musician. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. You just, before you know it, you're snake bit and wandering.
Snake Bit and Wandering. One more plug on the record. Everybody, Snake Bit and Wandering, JimmieBones.com. Now, I had a friend of yours on here yesterday, Mr. Tino Gross.
Tino Gross.
Now, he produced this with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tino, for years was kind of, dude, you got to do your own record,
Right.
You're out there with Kid Rock. You've been doing all of this work. You've been backing up all kinds of people around Detroit, Bootsy X and Karen Monster and the new Barbiturates that was like me and Art Lysak and Karen Monster and Bootsy X in one
that's a
band
great
with
name,
Greasy
man.
Carlisi on guitar
I love
and
Greasy.
Dave Hanna from the Ramrods on bass and Dave Uhalik from the Polish Muslims and the Mutants.
Polish Muslims. Who names all these bands? Is this like only in Detroit where you get all this
Oh,
bullshit?
they were great bands, man. There's been such a great scene for years, man, and so much great music that really people haven't discovered, and this is
Right.
why you need to dig deep and discover.
So
more.
what's it like stepping out on your own, doing a solo project, like stepping out from the spotlight of the whatever it is that we do for a day gig,
Right,
I
right,
mean,
right.
I'm curious because I'm doing the same, kind of the same thing, writing my music, and I'm like, is this music just going to sit on my hard drive? How do I get it to the people? Like, how do we bring new music out?
Yeah. It's at the same time of being liberating, and it's your baby, and you get to perform it how you want, and you're not really being, you're not playing the way somebody else wants to hear their things, and that's the way it is, man. That's your day gig, or that's your big gig, and that's your main gig, and you're there for a reason. And I like to think of, hey, this is why I'm in Kid Rock's band,
Right.
Because of this,
Right. I mean, do you have? It's kind of terrifying.
I was going to say that it's as much liberating and the freedom of being able to play things the way you want. It's a little terrifying, and it's a responsibility because, like, wow, what if nobody shows up? What if you do a gig and
what if I
and
suck?
2 people show up, and then I have to rethink that. I'm like, you know what? I don't care if there's 500 people there or if there's 2. I'm going to have the time of my life up here doing
Right.
this, and I'm at least going to have those 2 people go and tell 50 people that they know to come and see this next time. Hey, there was only 2 other people there, and you missed it. So
that,
don't miss it.
For me,
next
that's
time.
the essence of of being an artist and being a creative. Is like we do this because we love it, and I'm sure half as many people are going to hate what I do as love what I do, but
That's what makes the world go round.
Yeah, so long as, I mean, if I get a reaction, any reaction, like they say, bad press is the best kind of press anyways.
Yeah, somebody's talking about you.
You know, if we can get it out there and have it heard, that, you know, that's for me, you know, that's the thing. And like to get to play and to express and to kind of expose myself, you know, because really it is, you know, it's a very naked feeling putting your, like you were saying, your lyric and your story and your song out there.
Yeah, you're bearing your soul, man.
And they're there to judge you, man. It's like, you know, for better or worse.
Yeah, you're bearing your soul, and you're just sticking your neck out there, and you don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be a hell of a ride.
I was thinking the other day, I was riding, I was like, you know, when you create a song, like you were saying, you go through the whole process and the production and the sounds and the writing, and we're putting something out that's never been done before. Like you know, you created a song where there wasn't a song, right? So literally, you're filling a void in whatever it is, the universe.
The interesting thing too for me is, you know, mainly my music, I write it so that I can play it with just me on a piano. I can perform it 100% solo. I can perform it with, you know, and a lot of times it's Tino or Larry Fratangelo or Johnny B, just on a snare with some brushes or a cajon or something, or with a whole band. The interesting thing is when you put that into a studio and then you start having other players come in and they're the ingredients, and then it turns into a whole nother kettle of soup or stew then, you know? It turns into some serious gumbo. And hopefully it's greasy.
It's definitely greasy, man. Is there a through line? Like what part of your story, or what is the story that you want to convey to your audience and to the people that listen? Like, is this a personal journey story, or is it like a social commentary, or is it, you know, love stories, or what, you know, where do you find that, what are you trying to say to people when you're performing and writing your stuff?
Well, obviously, man, a song, when you're writing it, you are telling a story. And it can be from experience. It can be what you're feeling that day. You know, a lost love, a new budding love, you know, and this is going through time, you know, life is a journey. And all of these things that you experience come into these stories. Or the other thing is just writing a story the way a writer would write a novel. So I might be writing a song and I just might be just like digging into all my dirty blues and just, you know, you're conveying an idea, but you're telling a story and it's a bit off color and trying to be tongue-in-cheek, and sometimes it's not from your own life's experience. We're just trying to make people laugh.
We're making shit up.
We're trying to entertain people, man.
It's
trying
funny.
to entertain people and just make them smile, make them feel good, make them laugh, take their stresses away in some way, you know. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's
probably one of the greatest guys that I listen to and lyrically is Clarence Carter, man, because everything he said was so tongue-in-cheek and subliminally dirty and everything, you know, and that's a cool thing, man.
See, I'm a huge fan of like Dr. John, because his stuff was so just sideways, man. Like, you know, all of his turn of phrases, it must have been the right place but the wrong time, that kind of stuff. You know?
Yeah.
You know,
It plays words.
Yeah,
Definitely wordplay.
Yeah,
that's fun. Man.
Something about being clever. I like clever lyrics. It just makes me think and makes me wonder. You know, I did a song last week, and one of my fans was like, "Oh man, I hope you and your wife are okay." And I'm like, "No, it's a song. You know, I'm making shit up. It's like we're not fighting." But it's so funny how people read read into what you're saying, when literally 90% of the time I'm just making shit up.
You're telling a story.
You know, because it sounds cool.
You're the narrator.
Right.
Doesn't mean you lived it. You're the narrator.
Peter Keys here with the Insomnia Chronicles. I'm here with Jimmie Bones, and we will be right back.
Playing cards with the devil, drew a losing hand like it's not